One more time.
I'm Paul Nixon, co-owner of Round Trip Records. It used to be, in order to get music into your collection, you'd have to go out and buy it. These days, with streaming, you could live your whole life without coming into a record store, to the extent that sometimes you might not know too many of the bands on the shelf. I think just growing up with records is just like kind of endeared me to the format. My parents are very musical people. They sing and play all kinds of instruments, which got me into music in the first place at all. And their record collections were kind of how I was able to learn about the world of music that existed before me. And then it just became a fun thing to do. Would be like to get up and go and see what records I could find. Having found some of my first records at a yard sale in high school, it's just an ongoing journey to see like what's out there, and getting people the records that we find is just as rewarding as finding the record that I'm looking for myself. So it's a wonderful feeling to be able to share music with people this way. What my favorite record does for me, your favorite record does for you. You could change any of the artists, any of the styles, any of that, and it's gonna feel as good to you as the things I like feel to me. And everybody's so different, and that's what makes this place great, or makes record stores great in general. I mean, we don't mix our records by genre really, like they're just A to Z. So if we can provide a place where somebody can go through and start seeing records they might not see if they're only looking through one section of the store, that at least like familiarizes themselves with that world. Maybe they're not ready to take the plunge right now, but it might just plant the seed for something they might end up really liking, and that's always cool. We would ask people what they want to hear, and they would invariably say like everything. So we were like, okay, cool. You want to see world music, you want to see jazz, you want to see rock, you want to see punk, down the list. And mixing it all together, you know, it solves a lot of bets. Like, is this record jazz or soul? Sometimes it's both. And the longer we evolve music and are here to witness that evolution, the blurrier genre lines become, you know? And that's a good thing. I think the more progression and the more evolution, the better, really. We signed our lease early 2020. We held on through the pandemic, just selling online. A couple key collections came our way that helped pay our rent. And then we finally opened our doors in the end of 2021. So we're about like 2.5 years old now. We are both alumni of another record store, and we met at a holiday party. And then I found out that he had been in bands, and he invited me to his house to play some music. Later down the line, he hits me up and he says, hey, you know, I have a lot of records I want to sell. We figured out that we would probably do best selling at the record show out in the burbs, and we did really well. People liked what we had. We were able to make friends with other dealers and kind of get the lay of the land. And as that grew, we were like, man, what if we could do this, but instead of every 2 months, it was like every day. Instead of moving the records, it was not moving the records. So then we were like, maybe we'll just sell online. We found this place, and we decided that it was gonna be a good way for us to serve the community. There's colleges and high schools nearby. There's like blocks and blocks without another record store. And we feel like, you know, we hope to be offering something like unique in terms of selection. We definitely seek out the lesser known or more exotic titles maybe, but by the same token, we're happy to get people just about anything. This location was really nice for us. Like in other neighborhoods in Chicago or in any, you know, in other geographical locations generally, like there's probably a dictated way a store is, you know, you would expect them to be. So this kind of neighborhood where it's extra multicultural and super diverse and super like quiet and just low key. A lot of great parks, a lot of great restaurants. It just served us as a way where we could just kind of express ourselves freely. I think that was a big upside. And the community seems to be embracing us too. And like, there just doesn't seem to be like a cool kids club here. It's like we're all just regular people that love music. So that's always really nice too. I feel like record stores are great places to be like community hubs. Like, commerce aside, commerce keeps the lights on and keeps it running and keeps our food on our table. But the other aspects are just like people meeting friends over music. Lasting friendships have been formed in record stores for me and others. So I feel like go to any of them. They would love to see you. And if they don't, then I will. So.